Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin. Thanks so much for hanging out today. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe videos as it helps with the algorithm. And also, I want to say I really appreciate all you guys who hang out and watch the stuff you don't even like, just in hopes that you'll see something that you do like. This has got to be one of the highlights for me. You guys may or may not know what this is. This is pieces of an album, Mexico Typeset Coin album. There you go, good old Dansco. But this is how the albums used to look before they tore apart anyways. You can see this was actually like 5 different panels that would unfold into one another. And so that's pretty complicated. But this was the actual front of the album. And so what's fun is, if you haven't really considered collecting coins from other countries, you can do a type album just like you can with US coins. And it's actually pretty fun to get into different countries and see the different types of coins that they have. This also helps you really organize things. What's interesting about this book is, well, first of all, good thing there's not smell-o-vision. I'm going to have a shot after this. There's all kinds of mold on this thing, and we got lots to talk about related to that. But also, you'll note that there's some holes that are actually handmade holes in here with some handwritten notes, because it looks like that this album was made not into the 50s. As you can see, most of these labels are in the 50s, but not after the 50s, as those two coins that were both from the 60s. All right, so, oh man, where to begin? Begin to begin. Well, what's interesting about this album is that we've got this actually would be the center page here, although it looks like the front of the book because paper has torn off. The way this would be opened up really wide here, it would have folded in on top of itself. So actually, after you're done unfolding things, the inside cover would be the page that has the inside cover here. And you look at what's cool is you've got this, usually, you know what, usually this front page is missing in most of these albums. And so you get to see the list of the old Dansco titles that they had at the time. And coin collecting for fun and profit, which is kind of fun. I've never really seen that on one of these. Here we're bound in imitation leather. That's just, we're bound by so many things, guys. Imitation leather is just one of them. And then you can see some of the cool different Canadian and Mexican sets, Australia and New Zealand, that they had. Your collection deserves the best. Always use Dansco coin, Dansco Deluxe coin albums. And we do start denominationally, like we do with most things, with the smaller denominations first. So you have the 1 cent piece. Welcome to inflation, where you have the 1 cent, 1905 to 1914. Then 1915, you have this un poquito guy here. And then after that, he's jumping up ahead into this bigger piece, into the 1915 to 1943 series. So the albums, one of the things that's great about albums like this, so even if you don't collect Mexican coins, what's great about albums like this is you get to take a look and see how things tone, what natural toning looks like, what unnatural toning looks like. And hello there, look at that 2 cent piece from 1915. That's what we call a winner. That's a pretty coin. So these old albums give us a chance to look and see at how different metals tone and react to different environments. You can see they also had a coin gone wrong there, apparently. It's on the lamb. But you know, look at the history here, where you went from your 10 cent piece of silver, and then you went to a large 10 cent piece of copper, and then you went back down to a small 10 cent piece of silver just for 1 year, and then you went to a 10 cent piece of copper nickel. Oh, wait, no, these are not, these, I'm laughing because that is not chronological. The smaller 10 cent piece, type 4, is before the type 5, but not in the album, because someone got to not pass their design school exam properly, and they went ahead and put the type 5 before the type 4. That's just so funny. So one of the things you may wonder about is just trying to learn about a new series. I always like going back to the old school, which is like the big old books that you can get. And I always find the old Kraus books kind of a good place to start. just for any single country you want to get into, you know, the information is not going to be super precise. But what it will tell you is the same thing that any older book will tell you, which is, you know, if you have a better date or not, a better type. So as we look at that 2-cent piece, that was the 1915 series, looks like a pretty nice coin if I got the right one here. You've got a 1915 here, but there's not a 1915 of this other type. So a 1-year type, I wonder if they made proof issues on that. And so this is where your mind starts to go as you start getting into this stuff. Because the fun thing about the Kraus is it'll show you if you have a coin that's a more rare date, you can just kind of tell the same way you use the red book by looking at the price differentiations from date to date. But it won't tell you a lot of the very, very specific things that you want to learn about a series, such as you know, whether or not they had special proof issues and, you know, all kinds of things like that. Mexican coins have lovely designs on most of their coins, if not rudimentary, and you get to see just a pretty broad variety of styles and types because they had many denominations. You see we had the 1 cent, 2 cent, and here we got the 10 cents and the 20-cent pieces, and all within the 20th century, mind you. So some of the denominations that we haven't had or we didn't have since before the turn of the century, the turn of the other century, not the turn of the last century. So they've got a lot of fun denominations, and then they get issued and reissued, and you just got to watch out because the book doesn't have them all in order. Come on, Mr. Dansco album guy. Put this in the right order, would you? But as always, you've got a really good-looking snake and eagle design on the Mexican coins here. Here's your 25-cent piece, your 50-cent pieces, which you'll see maybe they put in order, type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 6, type 5. They almost got them in order. But once again, you can see those World War I era coins, really nice pieces. They got a little bit of some shrinkage there, and then they went back to a larger size after that. But I believe they went to a lower purity on these guys. Now the hard part about these albums is you try to push from the back to open them up. They will oftentimes break the plastic, pardon me, the paper. This one did not. 1943, so these are 72% pure. It looks the same size as this guy here. Maybe it's a smidgen smaller, but then this guy, I think these were 90% silver on those ones before World War I. And let's see here, 1905, and these ones are not marked. Well, if only I had a book. Oh, yeah, look at that. 50-cent piece. So this I find to be much more convenient than trying to use an interweb. So you'll see that the earliest issues of these guys were actually 80% silver. And then that second type was also 80% silver, and then the third type drops to 72% silver. So we had a lot of variation through and throughout. And by the way, there'll be some coins in here. 1940s coins, not uncommon to see uncirculated. But I will say this type 2 piece here is really a choice coin underneath that toning. So let's take a closer look at that. It's not as easy to maneuver when it's in the album, but I'm going to do it anyway. 1919. Nice toning. Okay, I'm going to take it out because I want to look closer. And I'm going to get this out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and pull it up from the back side here and take a look, see what we got. I think what you have here is a really nice uncirculated coin with a lot of that album toning to it. And the difficulty is just knowing exactly when and where the album toning will turn into something that is really detrimental to the coin, and whether or not it'll over time become worse or heavier. So after the 50-cent pieces with centavos, we're moving into the pesos, and you see a lot of the same pattern of their coinage where you had the the slow erosion of silver value in their coins, to where eventually they got, this is a 50-cent piece, these Morales pesos are, and then you get into the ones, the type 5 here, where it is just that's a 35%, I think, on that coin. So then they tried to move back into some silver, and then they have silver plated pesos, these 25-cent pieces that someone put in. And here's one of the most popular coins. 1921 sure was a year for coins, huh? The dos peso is definitely among the most popular coins out there for world coin collectors and Mexican coin collectors. Really has a cool look to it all around. I think I may have said that there was a different Mexican coin that had my favorite reverse interpretation of the snake and eagle. But for some reason, this 2 peso, I just don't understand. I mean, the same thing happens for US coins. I just don't understand sometimes how you get a coin and you look at it and you're like, wow, that coin is so much cooler than all their other coins. I guess they can't all be cool. I mean, this coin gets extra points for, you know, first of all, having the angel, but secondly, having Roman numerals. So, very popular series, very popular coin. The question is whether or not if I send a coin like this in, if it'll get environmental damage labeled on it. And also, the problem is you got to be able to look at the coins honestly and say, is that gonna cause a problem long term? You know, because you don't want that to happen. So there's times at which when you take old coins out of holders, you really do have to consider, does this coin need to be conserved for the longevity of the coin? Because if you've got some heavy stuff on there, it can really be problematic. Well, this is fascinating. This here, the Carranza piece. I mean, I'm saying fascinating because how many times have I seen one of these and they're not really an attractive coin, but that coin looks quite pleasing to the eye. Boy, whoever put these in, these things are, Dansco really made a nice album, but you see all that's like mold under there. If I could get black lung, it was for you guys. I was really hoping for some type of bombastic toning on the back of these, but they're just mostly muddled and mottled, not great. Not a bad looking coin. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see what else we got going on here on this last panel. First of all, the back page had this fun little thing where it was talking about the different types of metals that the coins were and the size of the coin, so that's cool. And the dates they were issued. Yeah. And then after that, that's cool. So then they have this other extra collectible series at the end. They're going to deviate from the 05 to 62 series to give you a more balanced collection. That's fun. An onza, the first peso for Maximilian, second peso, the balanced scale style, the fuerte. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So this last page, if I open it up, there's more information like on the back side there. You've got your extra coins. They carved in a spot for the Olympic piece. And you've got your onza. By the way, this was designed just for the opening for the 49 because the onzas from the latter dates didn't exist yet. And then the Maximilian, which is not here. And then this is the balanced scale type. And the Liberty cap. Copyright, here we go, copyright 1962. But cool coins. Nice grade. I'm actually really intrigued by the peso there. That 49 is a nice looking piece. That's the first year. Most of those onzas, I should say, most of those onzas from 49 are pretty rough, and mostly you see the ones starting in the late 70s. So this is cool, 1871. balance scale option design, really neat. There's the scales on either side. But once again, you see, is the toning and the environmental damage, or is it good? There's the MO, Mexico City Mint. I'm gonna go ahead and see this poor guy here. Oh, man, he is quite lovely, and so this toning doesn't seem as detrimental to me. Like what's going on here is basically what they're just gonna call PVC. And so in my mind, this is a coin that I think is gonna need restoration. And also probably one of the few coins that is nice enough for certification in the series. I think it'll come back a pretty nice piece. All in all, oh, bonus time. I know you guys have been waiting for bonus time because I announced it not at all. But when I say bonus time, first I was going to try to get this stupid coin out here. And you know what? I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Okay, I'm giving it one more try. Maybe if I use my dominant hand to dominate, it'll work. I just want to get a closer look and see if this guy is as nice as he looks. So this guy actually looks like he's an uncirculated coin also. Not going to be a rare date. I do prefer, once again, the toning on this over some of the other ones. But most of these coins don't have that super nice toning that you can see at all angles. It's just toned really nice at certain angles. 1902 Mexico City Mint. I don't know if it's smart to release all the black lung in here. Okay, what was the bonus? Oh, the bonus. So also, I got these old mint bags from El Banco de Mexico, and so I got a couple of those in, and those are cool. So I know some of you collect bank bags. I don't see these that often, which is surprising to me. I kind of feel like I should see them more frequently. So all right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I've been the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.